Welcome, everyone. Today, we are not talking about shortcuts. We are not talking about luck. We are not talking about overnight success. Today, we are talking about principles. The rules that separate average people from extraordinary ones. Look around you. Some people stay stuck for years. Same income, same mindset, same excuses, same results. And some people rise, they grow, they improve, they evolve, they build something powerful. What is the difference? Not intelligence, not background, not connections. It is discipline in small decisions. Success is not one big moment. It is a collection of daily choices. And today, I'm going to give you rules that, if applied seriously, can completely change your direction. Not tomorrow, not next year, but starting today. This is not entertainment. This is transformation. And as you listen carefully, you're also improving your English naturally. If you want to grow your life and your English together, make sure you subscribe and stay connected. Rule 1. Don't waste time. Time is the only resource you cannot earn back. Money can be recovered. Opportunities can return. Skills can be learned. But time once gone is gone forever. Every successful person understands this deeply. They may not always work harder, but they respect time more. Most people say they want success. Scrolling for hours, complaining for hours, watching other people live their dreams. Time disappears silently. The scary part? You don't feel time leaving. You don't hear it. You don't see it. But one day you wake up and realize years are gone and nothing changed. That realization hurts more than failure. How you spend your time determines where you go. If you spend your time learning, you move forward. If you spend your time distracting yourself, you stay still. If you spend your time improving skills, you grow. If you spend your time gossiping, you shrink. Time is not just minutes and hours. Time is direction. Because comfort is easy, growth is uncomfortable. It is easier to scroll than to study. It is easier to complain than to build. It is easier to blame than to take action. But easy choices create hard lives. Hard choices create easy lives. Imagine two friends. Both finish work at 6 p.m. Friend A goes home and spends 3 hours watching random videos. Friend B goes home and spends 2 hours learning a valuable skill. After one day, no difference. After 1 week, small difference. After 1 year, massive difference. Friend A says he's lucky. But it wasn't luck. It was time management. One invested time, one consumed time. And time compounds. Think of time like money. If you invest money wisely, it grows. If you waste money daily, you struggle financially. Time works the same way. Every hour invested in learning, practicing, building, planning creates future advantage. Every hour wasted creates future regret. Wasting time does something dangerous. It kills self-respect. When you know you are capable of more, but you keep choosing comfort, your confidence drops. But when you use time wisely, even small productive actions, your self-trust increases. And self-trust builds confidence. You must become strict with your hours. Not robotic, not obsessed, but aware. Ask yourself, is this helping me grow? Is this moving me forward? Is this necessary? If not, reduce it. Successful people do not have more time than you. They protect it better. If you simply master this one rule, don't waste time, your entire life changes. Because every other rule depends on this one. You cannot practice without time. You cannot improve without time. You cannot build confidence without time. You cannot achieve success without time. Time is the foundation. Respect it. Guard it. Invest it. Because in the end, success is not built in one big day. It is built in small, disciplined hours. Rule 2. Practice makes you powerful. Most people misunderstand practice. They think practice makes perfect. No, practice makes you powerful. Because power comes from repetition. Power comes from familiarity. Power comes from doing something so many times that fear disappears. People look at successful individuals and say, "He's talented. She's naturally gifted." But they don't see the thousands of hours behind that skill. They see the performance. They don't see the preparation. Practice removes weakness. Practice builds precision. Practice turns confusion into clarity. Practice is repetitive, and repetition is not exciting. Your brain loves novelty. Your brain loves entertainment. Your brain loves comfort. But mastery is boring. It is repeating the same action again and again until it becomes automatic. That is why most people quit. They want results without repetition. But without repetition, there is no power. Every time you repeat a skill, you strengthen neural connections in your brain. But after repetition, it becomes smoother, faster, more confident. That confidence does not come from motivation. It comes from repetition. Confidence is not built by positive thinking. Confidence is built by evidence. When you practice something repeatedly, you gather evidence. You know you can handle it. And when you know you can handle it, fear decreases. Imagine someone who practices public speaking every day. At first they shake, their voice cracks, they forget words. But after speaking 100 times, the fear reduces. After speaking 500 times, confidence grows naturally. Not because they became braver, but because they became familiar. Familiarity kills fear. Many people say, "I'll practice when I feel motivated." That is a trap. Motivation is unstable. Practice must be scheduled, not emotional. Even when you don't feel like it. Even when you are tired. Even when progress feels slow. Because small daily practice compounds. Your skills stay weak. Your fear stays strong. Your confidence stays low. And then you blame luck. But luck rewards preparation. Preparation comes from practice. If you practice consistently for 1 year, you will be unrecognizable. Not because you worked 20 hours a day, but because you showed up daily. The person who practices daily will always defeat the person who practices occasionally. Power is built quietly. Repetition builds authority. Authority builds results. Rule 3. Adapt quickly to change. If you refuse to adapt, life will force you to struggle. The world is changing faster than ever. Technology changes, markets change, opportunities change, people change. If you stay rigid, you fall behind. If you adapt quickly, you stay relevant. Look at businesses that disappeared. They refused to adapt. They said, "This is how we've always done it." And they were replaced. The same happens in personal life. If you refuse to learn new skills, you become outdated. If you refuse to change habits, you stay stuck. Adaptability is not weakness. It is intelligence. Many people struggle to adapt because of ego. They don't want to admit, "I need to improve. I need to update. I need to learn again." But adaptation requires humility. You must accept that growth means change. And change means discomfort. When change happens, don't panic. Analyze. Ask, what is different? What skill is required now? What must I adjust? Then act calmly. Fast adaptation gives advantage. Slow adaptation creates stress. Sometimes adaptation feels like starting from zero. That scares people. But starting again with experience is not starting from zero. It is starting from wisdom. The person who adapts grows. The person who resists stagnates. When most people resist change, those who adapt find new doors. While others complain, you prepare. While others fear, you learn. And that difference creates success. If you master this rule, you will never be irrelevant. No matter what changes, you will adjust. No matter what shifts, you will evolve. Adaptability protects your future. And the future belongs to those who move with it, not against it. Rule 4. Keep moving forward. Most people don't fail because they are weak. They fail because they stop. They stop when progress feels slow. They stop when results don't come quickly. They stop when life becomes heavy. They stop when nobody is clapping. That's why keep moving forward is not a nice quote. It is a survival rule, because the world is full of people who started and quit. Success often belongs to the person who simply kept going longer than everyone else. A big mistake is this. People think if they are not making big progress, it means they are failing. No, some days your progress will be small. Some days you will only do the minimum. Some days you will feel tired and low. But moving forward means you do not break the chain. Even if your step is small, it still counts. A small step today is better than 0 steps, because small steps keep momentum alive. Motivation comes and goes. But momentum carries you even when motivation dies. When you are already moving, it is easier to continue. When you stop completely, it becomes painful to restart. That's why the real strategy is never stop fully. If you can't do 100%, do 30%. If you can't do 30%, do 10%. But keep the habit alive. Keep the identity alive. Keep the direction alive. Life will interrupt you. There will be problems. Family issues, health issues, financial stress, emotional stress. And many people use those moments as the reason to quit. But successful people use those moments as proof of strength. Because the real test is not when life is easy. The real test is when life is heavy and you still move. Forward means you learn one thing even on a bad day. You practice a little even when you don't want to. You take one action even when fear is present. Forward means you refuse to go backward. It doesn't mean perfection. It means progress. Imagine 2 people trying to change their life. Person A works hard for 10 days, then misses 2 days and gives up completely. Person B works steadily. Some days strong, some days weak, but never quits. After 6 months, person B looks gifted. But it was not talent. It was forward motion. The world rewards the person who stays. Tell yourself, I don't need to feel strong. I need to keep moving. Because emotions are temporary, but direction is permanent. If you keep moving forward, you eventually reach a new life. Rule 5. Build self-confidence. Self-confidence is not arrogance. It is not loud talking. It is not showing off. Self-confidence is a quiet inner belief. I can handle life. And that belief changes everything. Because without confidence, you hesitate, you delay, you overthink, you avoid. You watch other people win and you tell yourself, that's not for me. Confidence is the bridge between potential and action. Most people think confidence is something you have or you don't have. Wrong. Confidence is built the same way muscles are built, by doing hard things repeatedly, by proving to yourself that you can show up, by keeping promises to yourself. That is the foundation. Confidence does not come from compliments. Compliments are temporary. Confidence comes from evidence. Evidence means you did what you said you would do, even when it was difficult, even when you were tired, even when nobody watched. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your self-trust grows. And self-trust becomes confidence. They say, "I'll start tomorrow." Then tomorrow comes and they delay again. They repeat this pattern. And slowly they stop trusting themselves. They feel weak. They feel guilty. They feel stuck. Not because they are lazy, but because they broke trust with themselves too many times. So confidence is not built by motivation. It is built by self-respect. And self-respect comes from action. Small promises, kept daily, over time. That is it. If you tell yourself, "I will work for 20 minutes," and you do it daily, your mind begins to believe, "I am a person who follows through." That identity creates confidence. Imagine someone who is shy. They want confidence, but they avoid everything difficult. They stay silent. They stay in comfort. They hide. Their confidence never grows. Now imagine the same person chooses one small brave act daily. Speak one sentence in a meeting. Make one phone call. Ask one question. Say no once. Small actions. But repeated daily, their brain changes. Fear reduces. Self-trust grows. And one day they realize, "I am not the same person anymore." That is confidence. Rule 6. Improve 1%. Every day. Most people fail because they want a big change fast. They want a new life in 1 week. They want results in 10 days. They want transformation without patience. But real success is built differently. Real success is built through small daily upgrades. 1%. Every day. That sounds small, but that is the secret. Because small improvements compound. And compounding is the most powerful force in growth. Big goals can feel heavy. When a goal feels heavy, the mind avoids it. But 1% feels light. It feels possible. It feels simple enough to start. And once you start, you create momentum. So the 1% rule is not just about improvement. It is about defeating procrastination. It makes action easy. They are not always doing heroic things. They are doing small things consistently. They read a little daily. They practice a skill daily. They review mistakes daily. They refine their habits daily. While others wait for motivation, they collect small wins. And those wins build a powerful identity. I am a person who improves. That identity becomes unstoppable. This is why most people quit early. Because in the beginning, 1% looks like nothing. You work for 2 weeks, and your life looks the same. So people stop. But compounding is slow in the beginning and explosive later. Just like a seed. A seed grows under the soil first. Nothing is visible, but roots are forming. Then one day it breaks through. That's exactly how improvement works. For a while, people don't see your growth. Then suddenly they say, "How did you change so much?" It wasn't sudden. It was daily. 1% can be waking up 15 minutes earlier, reading 3 pages, practicing one skill for 20 minutes, cutting one distraction, fixing one small bad habit, taking one small uncomfortable action. It's not dramatic, but it is powerful, because it's consistent, and consistency is rare. Stop trying to change everything at once. Change one thing at a time. Success is not built by intensity. It is built by daily upgrades. Rule 7. Attitude is everything. Your skills matter. But your attitude decides how far your skills go, because the same situation can create two different outcomes depending on attitude. One person faces a problem and says, "This is unfair." Another person faces the same problem and says, "This is training." Same life, different mindset, different future. Your attitude controls how you respond to failure, how you handle pressure, how you treat people, how you handle criticism, how long you stay consistent. A negative attitude makes everything feel heavy. A strong attitude makes everything feel possible. That's why attitude is not a small thing. It is the engine, the victim attitude. It sounds like, "Why me? Life is hard. People are against me. I can't do it. Others have it easier." This attitude kills progress because it teaches you to wait for life to change. But successful people don't wait. They adjust their attitude first. Then they change their results. A strong attitude sounds like, "I will figure it out. I will learn from this. I will not quit. I will adapt. I will do what others avoid." This attitude creates resilience. Resilience creates consistency. Consistency creates success. Real attitude is not shown on good days. It is shown on hard days, when you fail, when people doubt you, when you feel tired, when results are slow. If your attitude stays strong in those moments, your future becomes strong. Your attitude is a decision, not a personality. You choose how you interpret life, and how you interpret life becomes how you live life. Rule 8. Patience and persistence. Most people want results fast. They want change in 7 days. They want success in 30 days. They want a new life without a long journey. But real success does not work like that. Real success is slow at first. And that slowness is the test. Because when progress is slow, your mind starts whispering, "This isn't working. You're wasting time. Give up. Try something else." And that is where most people quit. Not because they can't succeed, but because they cannot wait long enough to succeed. Patience is not doing nothing. Patience is continuing without seeing results yet. Persistence is not motivation. Persistence is staying in the game even when you feel tired, bored, or discouraged. Patience protects you from emotional decisions. Without patience, people quit too early, change direction too often, chase shortcuts, jump from plan to plan, lose confidence quickly. Patience keeps you stable. It allows your efforts to grow roots, because every big outcome needs time to develop. You cannot rush skill. You cannot rush mastery. You cannot rush transformation. The world is full of people who started, very few finished. And finishing is what creates success. Persistence means you show up again, even after a bad day, even after failure, even after embarrassment, even when people doubt you, even when your own mind doubts you. Persistence is self-respect in action. Many people work for months and see no results. Then one day, results appear. This is how life works. Results are delayed. But if you quit early, you never reach the moment when effort finally shows itself. That's why patient persistence is not just a rule, it is a requirement. Imagine two people learning the same high-value skill. Both start excited. After 2 weeks, it feels hard. After 1 month, it feels slow. Person A says, "This isn't for me." They quit. Person B says, I will give it time. They continue. After 6 months, person B becomes valuable. Opportunities come, income grows, confidence rises. Person A sees it and says, "You're lucky." But it wasn't luck. It was patience and persistence. One stayed long enough for growth to arrive. The other left too early. Patience is not weakness. It is strength. Persistence is not intensity. It is endurance. And success is always an endurance game. Rule 9. Believe in yourself. This rule is the engine behind every other rule. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you won't even start. And even if you start, you won't continue. Belief is not a feeling. Belief is a decision. I may be slow, but I am capable. I may fail, but I will learn. I may not be there yet, but I will reach there. Most people don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because they doubt their potential. They talk themselves out of action. Self-doubt creates procrastination, overthinking, fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of trying. And when fear becomes a habit, life becomes small. People stay stuck in safe comfort zones. Not because they want to, because they don't believe they can handle discomfort. That is why belief matters. Belief gives courage. Courage creates action. Action creates growth. Growth creates proof. And proof strengthens belief even more. Many people say, "I'll believe in myself when I succeed." But success requires belief first. You must believe before the proof arrives. Because belief is what keeps you working when progress is invisible. That's why belief is powerful. It keeps you alive in the early stage. Real belief is not posting quotes. Real belief is not saying, "I'm confident." Real belief is waking up and doing the work even when you feel unsure. Belief is not perfect confidence. Belief is showing up anyway. Imagine someone who wants to start a business. They have ideas. They have ambition. But they keep thinking, "What if I fail? What if people laugh? What if I'm not good enough?" Years pass. Nothing happens. Now imagine the same person chooses belief. Not blind belief. Practical belief. They say, "I will start small. I will learn. I will improve." They take one action, then another, then another. Slowly, they gain experience. Experience becomes confidence. Confidence becomes results. And results become success. Belief didn't make the business succeed magically. Belief made the person move. And movement created the future. If you don't believe in yourself, you will always live under other people's expectations. But when you believe in yourself, you start building your own life. Belief is not pride. Belief is permission. Permission to try. Permission to fail. Permission to grow. Permission to win. Because your future is being built by what you do repeatedly. Every day you waste is a vote for regret. Every day you practice is a vote for power. Every day you keep going is a vote for a new life. And one day, you will look back and realize something. You didn't get lucky. You got serious. You didn't find success. You built it. And you built it because you refused to quit. So keep moving. Stay hungry. Stay focused. Stay patient. And prove to yourself that you are not the person who gives up. You are the person who finishes. Because this is your life, and it's now or never.